There we go. Well, hello, Paradigm Shifters. Grateful to be here today in this December. Wow, this December 14th, 2021. And welcome to Paradigm Shifters. We are a community dedicated to shift and uplift the planet no matter where you are, no matter who you are. And so this actually, I was looking back, this is actually the second December that we've been doing these speakers every week. And I was thinking about this time last year, 2020, and the vibe was so different. And I can't even explain it. And I am so grateful to have made it to December 14th, 2021, and put a blessing on all the events and everything that have happened throughout the world and the globe. So I'm in our month of December. Our topic has been illuminate. And so I've asked guest speakers who are illuminating. How does that sound, Sherri, Jaye? Have you ever been introduced as an illuminator?
Illuminate. No, I like it though. I wanted to start illuminating.
Yes, great. Okay, I'm going to give a little bit of background and stuff about you that I know. I first met Sherri Jaye in Los Angeles, right? Gosh, it was so many years ago. And the thing that attracted me to you, we're we're sister educators, and that you were working in Los Angeles United School District, I think, right? And I was just drawn by your passion and love for those kids. And when we were talking a couple of weeks ago, I know because your book, we're going to talk about that, is just being released. You said something that pricked my ears up. You said that, that song "Don't Laugh at Me,"
Mm-hmm.
and you said that you were I forget you what was that context we were talking about, that where you were trying to get people to listen to that?
Well, that was, we were talking about how educators don't listen in the, like I was having conferences and all my teachers and my colleagues were there, and I had the writer, who wrote it with Peter Yarrow from Peter, Paul and Mary, and wrote this song, "Don't Laugh at Me." And he was talking about, and his name is Steve Seskin, and he had some sort of hand deformity. He was a very small man with small hands, and I'm sure he was bullied as a child. And so here is our keynote speaker that I worked so hard to get, and no one is listening to him at this luncheon. And I'm looking at them all, and I'm standing up, and I'm trying to go, and because it was a book signing as well. And it was embarrassing. And so I never had a keynote again at lunchtime for educators.
That'll teach you. Well, the reason that popped out at me was because that was at the same time that I was playing that song over and over and over again to my special ed kids in my classroom. And the kids in my classroom were the bullies, and they were being bullied. And it was over and over and over again. And then we would try to have a discussion about that after. At first, they didn't want to hear it, but after about the 100th time, they knew that they were going to be listening to it. And it was just very passionate song. So I just thought I would bring that up. It was that we have this passion for whatever it is, learning in kids. So that's one of the things. And you're from Culver City, California, is that right? And I'm going to just go ahead and hop this in. I found a quote today that I think really summarizes you and your book and what you're doing now. And it's a quote from Joseph Campbell. And it says, "We must be willing to let go of the life we planned so as to have the life that is waiting for us."
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's an awesome. Too bad I couldn't say that. I say something like that though.
Yeah. So I want to ask you first of all, Sherri, what makes you happy right now? Just tell us a little bit about yourself and what is it that's making you happy now?
Well, doing this is, when you, by writing it, by knowing I was going to write it, one of my friends asked me to send him a book, and then he wrote me back today and said, I got it. So is this just an autobiography, a memoir? And it's not that. That's not its purpose, And my daughter said, well, I guess it's something you needed to write for yourself. And I didn't feel that was right either. I did not feel to write it I didn't need to write it for myself. It wasn't anything I was holding on and was anything that I was ashamed of or resistant with. I felt very guided once I got here and saw this beautiful place that I allowed myself to have and to be at. I mean, it really was that. At first, I didn't feel I even deserved this house, and I didn't know it was that. My resistance about the house, that it was like too much. Like, I don't know if I could have this house and this. It's too much. It's so much more than I envisioned. Like, how do you get to live like this? How did I take walks with my dog and say, boy, I must have done something really good to be having this, And then as I would reflect and realize all that I have and all that has been given to me and all that I've worked for, I felt like you need to tell people how you did that, because it just did not happen by happenstance. It just was not random. It was a long, the process before I was 50 was happening, even though I didn't know. The universe is there working for you anyway, whether you know it or not. I hindered it probably, by all the stuff I did of not listening to the universe, but I wasn't even in that consciousness. And once I got the consciousness to change after 50, so it's going to be 20 years in 10 days, that I went out in the street on my birthday when I was 50 and said, oh my God, what is wrong? I first was wrong with these men in my life. And it took me a while to realize it's me. And once I realized the whole thing was me, that's what I've been doing for these next 20 years till now, is working on me and understanding me with the universe and my connectedness and what I'm here for. And I realized how much the universe was always there helping me and backing me. And thank God, for, when I met Al and I said, oh, I have to tell him my whole story, but I don't feel it's baggage. It's what got me here and got me to meet him and all that I've gone through. And so, that's how I decided when I kept having these urgings that I was going to write this and how I would do it and how I was going to try to get all that free stuff in until and all of that stuff. So I just wanted to get it in there, and I was going to do it lighter. The divorces I kept feeling were messy, and I would write, you don't want to read, I'm going to spare you the chaos and the drama. And so there was a lot that I said that, and then my friends who were editing it saying, you have to tell that story. And I was not resistant to tell it. I just thought it might be boring, or who wants to read all that crap? Let's read the best part. So I kind of wanted to hurry it to the part where I really started to change and not in that stuff. So, but then I put it in there, and I could feel that was very important, that I had to add all that extra stuff in my book. It changed from what I had thought I was going to do into a much deeper book.
It's such a beautiful book, and it, once again, you guys, it's This or Something Better. Isn't that a great title? And I think that for me at least, I needed to see the pre stuff to relate to you. And boy, you are lots of relating there. So so the book is out, and so tell me right now. I know the weather's coming in California, but right now, what are you excited about? What excites you now? And you said the last 20 years. That means that you are around that 70-year mark. Is that true?
In 10 days.
Oh, amen. It's the best decade of your life. I turned 70 in March, but tell me what you're excited about now. I know, and people who haven't read the book, you tell us where you live and that beautiful man in your life. A little bit about that and what's exciting about your life now.
Well, the book is turning 70 is exciting for me. I love feeling good and looking good and feeling healthy and living a good life and feeling this good at 70. I like that. And I said that at 60 and I said that at 50 and all years, I never lied or shy away from it. That's part of my journey is taking care of my body and taking care of myself. And so I'm glad that it's that stuff has worked. And so I feel good about myself and feel good about my health. And but always, this is not always my happiest time of my year. I don't love having a Christmas Eve birthday. Um, I've always felt it gets in the way. I've always had to celebrate it on other days for other people because they don't want to celebrate it on that day. And so I always feel selfish. And then I go back and can't I just have one day? And I guess I can't. And then the people in my life, I always feel they're so burdened with trying to make it something. And I just want to hide actually and not and just skip that day. And then once Christmas, easy, because once Christmas comes, no one even talks about that day. So, doing all the stuff that I do and getting ready for the holidays, I'm always wanting it to be over, and being normal and having everything be normal. And I'm happy to give and I'm happy to think about other people. But I do it all the time. So I'm always giving and tithing and this and that. So it's not a bigger difference for me of how I feel about this time. And I don't like that the focus is on me in a way that makes me feel selfish,
right,
instead of deserving, or the expectations of it. And I don't like it. I feel that way on Mother's Day and Valentine's Day too. I want all three of them just to be gone so I can just have this normal thing and not have to feel I should have something on those days,
Yeah. Thank you so much for bringing that up about that wanting to hide, wanting it to be over, and so it leads me into a question that I thought was really this morning. Someone asked me this, and I had to really think about it. And it's what word would you like to just kick out of your vocabulary? And for me, I look at there's words that I really catch myself and I quit using it, and it's the word but, B-U-T, because I'll go like, yeah, I want that, and then I say but, and after that word, it's everything why I can't, and I find that in people, and so I change that word but to and, like, oh yeah, this is what I would love, and this and this, and so that was my word I'd like to kick out, and maybe I know you worked in the school district for really a long time. And what word is it now that you would like to just not use anymore, or would like to tell
I don't
people?
like the word. I don't like the word try. I don't like try or should. I stop myself when I hear myself say try. I push it back in, and when I hear it, it's very grating to me when I hear others say try, because then it's like saying nothing. And should doesn't have any purpose, or either why either. Why doesn't do much either, and the children are fighting, and when you constantly say why, I always would tell that they're going to lie or whatever, and they're not even going to give you a truthful answer. So that is not even, you don't even need the why. You don't need that how. There's not a lot of truth behind it sometimes.
Tell me about the word
Yeah.
try. Tell me a little bit more about that word and why that. Tell me more. I
So
have a
I
feeling.
think if you're going to try to do something, you're not going to do it. So it stops you from doing it. You're only going to try to do it, so you're not going to do it. Because if you're doing it, you're doing it. But trying means you're not doing it. I'm going to try to diet. I'm going to try to be better. I'm going to try to do. You're not doing it then, ever. You're just going to continue not doing it. So I don't like the word. It gets you nowhere. That is a stuck word.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Stuck words. Try.
It's a stuck word. Try. I don't know. I think it makes you feel like you are doing something, other people, but when I see it, it's just an excuse for me, and I don't like excuses either. I just, I like to know, and I usually know what the real answer is, when someone's saying that. So I'm already there. So they didn't need to say
There you go.
that. I mean,
Yeah. So, what is it that right now that you're really super grateful for? I know your book's coming out. What else? Oh, I know you probably have a ton of things. But tell us.
what I'm grateful for. I'm always grateful for Sal, even though he's annoying to me a lot. But for most of the time, he's just very slow and I'm very quick, and I'm always having to adjust. And knowing I should be slower, and he should, we just have to meet a little bit. And it's that's my most difficult thing with him is his timing and my timing. It's 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 good for both of us to do both, to move a little, I slow down definitely, and he should move a little faster, and there you would go. But I am always grateful for him and for all that he gives me and all the support he is and has, and my puppies. My puppies are such joy that I can't even tell you. It's like they're so therapeutic, and they just cuddle with you and lay on you, and there's nothing like their little babies. There's nothing like these little puppies. And and
Sherri, tell us a little bit about Sal. I know, like, we haven't read your book, and it's about the relationship piece there. Can you just like zero in on that? And I know about him, but tell us, people who haven't, just a little bit about how that came about over the years, because um, it's been over the years,
well,
right?
we're 10 years, 6 months pretty soon. And so at 10 years, we just got like forever engaged. And that was a very exciting thing, to be forever engaged. Because, and at one time I felt like I really needed to be married, but I don't, it's a and I was stuck with that. I had a lot of pain through that word, actually. That could be a word I want to throw out. It meant so much to me, that dream of what it was. And I held on to it, and it caused me a lot of pain. And so when I finally got that feeling for myself and not having to be dependent on someone to have that feeling, I've had that marriage with myself, actually. I was able to say, I don't need to be married. We have that commitment that I never felt that I had with anybody else. And so in my marriages that crumbled and didn't live up to my forever and whatever that was in my head that I created as a child. This is just something better, when I'm writing all my affirmations of all what I want in a relationship. You can't. That's why I also said that when I first was going to write the book, it was only going to be about the soulmate and how he was the something better, because of all the men, I didn't know what better was. So you had to start looking around and seeing, what I really, I loved seeing couples in Costco. holding hands and shopping together. And that was one of the things that I wanted. So every time we would be in Costco, he says, are you happy right now? And I would always be happy right now. You know, he liked, he liked having me being in my bathroom with me. You know, like when I remodeled my house and made a separate bathroom and separate bedroom, and he wanted to be in my bedroom, in my bathroom, like together, like in a hotel thing. He felt that was the same feeling that I have at Costco of being in there and showering together and getting makeup and all that. And so as much as I'm like, okay, you know, I know how much he likes it, so I like it when he's in there. So it's kind of cute because I know that's his feeling of that, of a, you know, of just a good, loving relationship feeling, you know. So, you know, we really work every day to make it better. At 79 and at 70, you know, we're conscious of this relationship, of trying to communicate and work, not trying, we are communicating. And sometimes it doesn't work well, you know, and he's so passive in his talking for me. And I'm just right there, you know, and so we work at it all the time, and it makes it better, you know, and then we feel really connected and really grateful that we have one another at this time in our lives. I could not have been with him when he was younger. He moved all over the place. I stayed in one place for my whole life. I lived in Culver City for 68 years. He must have been in 25, 30 places. I said, you just got up and moved with your wife from Mexico. He was born in Mexico, raising, you know, you're just leaving Mexico and go to Dallas. You just go to Chicago. You just, so we wouldn't have worked back in those days, you know? So we're just good now. And there was nobody else that I would want to share this Mexican dream with, you know?
Wow. Wow. You just said, I love what you said is it wouldn't have worked then, it works now. So, yeah, can you speak a little bit more about that? It just,
Well,
I'm just,
he's pretty nomadic, and I'm not. You
I
know,
mean, if you were giving like some advice to people who are like looking for that special one, always, you know, da 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 da, what would you tell them? What is like one of the key things where you were honed in and boom, it happened?
you know, I was worried that my other relationships, as I became more spiritual and understanding, that part of the reason is that we weren't evenly yoked. You know, we didn't have the same belief system. You know, I think my husband is just, you know, they placated me or pretended they understood my spirituality and my thoughts and the things I said. I think they, you know, they didn't really know who I was in there. I don't think that they knew to do that. I don't think they had the capacity. It's not that they didn't want to do it; just wasn't there. And I never felt known in here. And that's what Sal really tries to know me. You know, he sees who I am. You know, it's not just always about, you know, it was always about the exterior, and it was always valued from my father about how pretty I was. And it was, you know, here's my beautiful daughter. It was a lot. And there was no other way to get his approval. So I used that, you know, and it made him feel good. And that made me feel good that I could give him that, you know. But then you look for that. Then you always have to be that and always be on. And I don't think that really helped me in life. And I don't feel I was as genuine at all because I was always having to be that. You know, can I say something sexual in
Sure.
this conversation?
Why
You
not?
know,
Yeah.
I was thinking, you know, at this time in my life of when I have sex, you know, I I say to Sal, it's the best sex that I've ever had at this time in my life. And I'm not as I don't have the libido I had. I don't have the desire I had, but it's so rich in it, and the satisfaction is so rich, and the reason is because I get to be genuine. I always felt that when I was young that I had to perform sexual, and in all the ways I was like the eye candy or whatever, and I don't feel I have to do that. He's so happy with however I am and whatever I do. And when my hair is back all the time, and I wear it up most of the time because it's annoying for me to wear it down. And he doesn't even see that it's up or that it looks like that. He doesn't see when I wake up and I look like a mess. He doesn't see that. And I've never felt more genuine of getting to be who I am. And I think that is the best thing, to be able to be who I really am. Because I was always about pleasing and approval. And so I know I was not who I am today in bed or either. So I think that, I just had that conversation just the other night, because we'll talk about, too bad you didn't know me when I was young, and all that I did then, but that wasn't really me. So I feel really happy to be me
Oh,
today.
wow. Yes, wow. Thank you so much for wow. So, what would you love? Now, we have a community. We're over 1,300 people right now. And what we like to do is to put a blessing on you. How's that for you? And ask you, what would thank for first of all, thank you so much for taking the time to do this, and so looking forward to promoting your book, This or Something Better. You write so much from your heart, like that is so you. Like that's what I love about that book and about you. It's like it's a it's you. You're right up front. But what would you love? Here's what we ask. What would you love to have us as a community hold for you, Sherri? What would you love? Anything at all, and we're going to hold you in that space.
Um, to get through this lovely rest of the year, and just keep my spirits and keep feeling good, get out of myself, and be out of my head with it. And I really want to do coaching. I really want to help people. I think that's the next step. I've hoped I could inspire enough people, and they only have to be ready. So I have one person that I'm going to start with on the life mastery program, the
Great.
6-month program. I have one. So starting in January. So I feel really good to know that I have one, and who knows how many more I'll have to when 2022 starts. So
Okay,
that's
well,
what I'm
so
looking
here we
forward
go. We're going to go like this and get ready to accept this. We're going to go blow through that storm that's gone through California, and we're going to take our energy and we're going to shoot it right over to you. Ready? Got it?
to.
You feel it?
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much
Thank you.
for your time today, and I'm so looking forward to it. And thank you so much for being um, in our 2021 series of paradigm shifters in this month of Illuminate.
Thank you.
Illuminate. And thank you
Thank
for
you for
illuminating.
having me. Thank you for having me. I'm excited, and I've been excited, ever since we had that conversation. And I love having you in my life, and knowing you're there to mentor me, and to be a colleague with me. I feel that this life mastery program, and it's no words sometimes when I see all that there is that it gives you. If someone wants to, when you're paying for it, you don't even realize what you're paying for. You don't realize all that you're getting. That's how I felt when I went back to college. When I went back to college at 42, I got all this. I would not have this if I didn't do that.
Here we go.
That piece of going back to college and deciding to be a marriage and family therapist, which I didn't really do. I just took that step to do something else, brought me here. And I would never have known. And taking that step with Mary, I would not know. And so each of those steps brings me to here.
Well, great. Well,
And
we're
I'm with
good.
you.
Thank you so much for being here, and we will see you on the flip side. Here you go. Hang on.